We are live. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another random episode. This one's going to be a little bit short because I do got to catch my flight to DevCon, the Ethereum conference in Cancun, and I will be talking about a couple of things during the show. Okay, let me just set up over here quickly. Wait till the questions come in. Okay, guys. If you got questions, type it in the chat box. I think it's on the right-hand side, the live chat. Cool. What's up, Dorian? Best way to withdraw crypto. So from Boris Penkarski, best way to withdraw crypto in cash. It depends on the country you're in. For example, in Canada, you got a couple of options. You got exchanges like CoinSquare, Quadriga, Kraken, where they will do a wire transfer to your bank. So that's pretty much the easiest way. Or if you're doing larger amounts of maybe 100K or more, you can do OTC with a law firm over the counter. And then there's local Bitcoins. That's probably the easiest for most people globally. I think they do like $1 million in volume a day, I heard. It's pretty crazy if you ask me. That's amazing. Okay, these people, okay. What do I think of Civic? Vinny Link. I think Civic is great. I think it's one of the best ICOs out there, not just on what they're doing, but how they actually had their ICO itself, the token model, the token allocation, the team behind it. You know, Vinny's a veteran entrepreneur, which is more important to me than technology. I invest in people. I don't invest in technology. Where can you buy an Antminer 9S? I don't know. I'm not really familiar in the mining space. I don't investigate the mining space, so I'm not that good of a help for you for that. Daniel Keller. Hey man, what's your input on blockchain and the current banking system issue? The whole idea that blockchain replace banking, it's not going to happen. It just gives more people options. So you as an individual, you don't have to completely rely on the bank now. You have now the optionality of using blockchain technology. I think in the future we will see nationalized cryptos. I think renminbi will be cryptotized. I think the Russian dollar will be also crypto. I think all national sovereign wealth, so the actual fiat will be crypto. And I think banks will use some form of a blockchain to reduce overcost or overhead in their business. But to actually say that blockchain will be a threat to banking, I don't see it. What's my take on Dogecoin? I think Dogecoin is fun. I like these novelty coins like that. Dogecoin has been around for a while. In fact, what was it, like a year ago or 2 years ago, they sponsored a NASCAR, and actually, I think it was a NASCAR they sponsored. I think the whole novelty coins, like the Pepe memes and any of these like novelty things attached to maybe even like gaming or even, for example, physical card games, like let's say, I don't know, Magic, you know, not to be confused with Mt. Gox, the exchange, the shutdown, but Magic itself. I think those actually have a place with the human psyche and the actual community. So I think comic books and crypto and tokens go very well together. Don Luciano, is Ameer or is long-term game in crypto only possible with big players? I mean, since all the new coins on the block gets pushed on, I'm not too sure what you mean. Long-term players. If you mean investing, I'm very long on certain things. I believe Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, Litecoin, Zcash. I'm a firm believer in these decentralized cryptos that actually have a purpose, actually have developers around it, especially Monero. I really like Monero. I like their use case. If you go to GitHub, if you go to Stack Exchange, you can see they have a very robust developer community. They have these amazing like PhD programs where people who need to work on academic papers will actually get paid by the Monero community so they can work on the papers, kind of like the Ethereum Foundation, which is really awesome. Let's see what else we got here. Sorry, 1 second. The comments are coming in fast, so I'm going to pause them and read. Shashank, will Segway 2x chain be enabled with Lightning? I don't know. Lightning can be enabled with Segway right now. They're working on it, so I don't see why 2x is needed. Yes, there is. Welcome to my kitchen. Cardano. You guys keep on asking me about this. I haven't talked to the team yet. I haven't read the paper. I don't have time. It takes about 20 to 40 hours of someone's time to go through white papers, to really understand it, to internalize it. And then it takes weeks to actually get in touch with the team and talk to the team and meet them. You can't, listen guys, you can't make opinions unless you do your homework. Do your due diligence, and that takes a very, very long time. So when you hear people giving opinions, and if they never met the person, or they never actually took their time to do their due diligence, it's not good. Am I familiar with William Mugaye? Yes, he's from Toronto down the street, so I'm quite familiar. Cardano serious, sure. Like I said, I have no idea. I can't give you my opinion. If you came to Toronto, maybe we'll have a meetup at my office over here, if I'm in Toronto at that time. Do I know any algo traders? Yes, I do. I know a bunch. What is a real thing with this fight between Charlie Lee, LTC, and other coins? No difference in other startups fighting, right? You have certain egos on both ends. You have people who want market domination. You have mythology at play, storytelling from one camp to another, right? I'm a firm believer. Listen, guys, if you want to understand how the human mind works, read everything by Joseph Campbell, by Carl Jung, by Arthur Schopenhauer. Really understand psychology, understand the cognitive biases, understand that even though you have this amazing technology is innate, and human beings are programmed on psychology and on mythology as opposed to rationality. Human beings aren't rational. We are irrational creatures controlled by our emotions. Do I believe in God? Define God, right? Do I believe in a definition of God? No. Do I believe that there's a singular God, like the monistic religions? No. It's a funny question. Can I tell us what those strategies that the algo traders use? I don't know. I'm not an algo trader. I just know them. What is this? Tell us something about Bitcoin we don't know. Pretty sure if you guys have been in the space, you should know pretty much everything about it already. Are you a fan of Jordan Peterson? Yes, I met Jordan Peterson a bunch of times. He's an amazing human being, and I wish him all the best. At least the God question got you smiling. Well, I'll tell you why. Like, I get bombarded by all these weird ICO questions, and the same questions over and over again. Guys, do your due diligence, do your homework. And if you're serious about this space, don't just take word as hearsay, as in you heard it from somebody, therefore it must be true. Do your own fact researching. Take time. And depending on what type of investor you are, don't let your emotions take your, over your brain. Like I said it before, we're very irrational creatures. Bitcoin price by the end of the year. Ooh, that's a tricky one. I don't know, it depends in November if the 2x happens. And then with this Bitcoin gold bullshit. I don't know. Let me see CoinMarketCap. I don't look at prices every day because I don't trade. I hold very, very long. So I'm a long-term value holder. That's my investment philosophy. I will hold for a very long time. Today, as of the 2nd, is about $6,000. By Christmas, well, usually in Christmas you actually see a dump, guys. So people want to buy Christmas gifts. They want to liquidate. They got vacations to go to. They got people to see. So we actually might see a small dip around or right before Christmas, so maybe the second week of December. Yeah, you guys are serious about this God question. I'll leave that for another time. I can do a whole video about philosophy and God. What do I think about plasma? I think plasma is great. I've seen Joseph Kuhn twice now talking about plasma. I've read the paper a bunch of times, and I think it's a much needed solution for the space. It's not a permanent fix. It's a great second layer fix on top of Ethereum, but it really does solve for a lot of issues in the actual technical problems that Ethereum has at the moment. Is Blockgeeks for real amateur people trying to learn blockchain and derivatives? Blockgeeks is not for trading. It's not for investing. We don't teach that. If you want to learn blockchain coding, so if you have any experience as a Solidity developer or C++ or Python, and you want to learn Solidity, Ethereum, and Hyperledger and Bitcoin, that's what we do. One second, guys. What's my thoughts on BitConnect? I haven't studied it. If it hasn't come across my radar, most likely it's some kind of Ponzi scheme. But then again, I haven't studied it, so I can't make a comment on that. And I probably won't study this. Listen, guys, I'm very busy running 2 companies. So for me to study everything you want me to study, it's not feasible. What's my thoughts on Tangle and IOTA? Well, they have. I'm currently setting up an interview with David, which is the CEO. So that's in the works. I'm off to DevCon, so I'm going to be offline for 2 weeks. I'm in Mexico for DevCon. I'm leaving literally right after this video. So hopefully we can set something up with David, maybe 3rd week or the 4th week of November. Because I have some questions myself that I've had no answers yet, and I would like to get some answers to it. Peter, hello Amir. What do you think are the most influencing speakers and thinkers in the crypto space? Well, my favorite is Antonopoulos. I think he's the first. I think he's very articulate. He gets to the point and knows how to actually take complex problems and distill them into some simple metaphors that people can understand. Any thoughts on William Mugayer's crypto index? It's a simple index. He has what, 10 cryptos that he has, and he reallocates every so often. Okay, that's all it is. What's my thoughts on Bitcoin? I like Bitcoin. So far, the best way to invest in crypto is buy and hold. Well, yes, depending on what you're investing in. Like I said, I'm not bullish on current ICOs. I'm not against them. I think there are some diamonds in the rough. I mentioned some. I'm very bullish on decentralized, open source cryptocurrencies as opposed to tokens that actually have a utility and actually have a huge, massive dev team behind them that actually have money to spend on research. Do I like Monero? Yes, I keep on saying this. I really like Monero. I've been buying Monero since it was like $5. It's like, what is it today? Let me pull it up. $88. I have I don't know. If I had to say by next year, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Monero at $300. What percentage of my portfolio is in alts? Almost nothing. Am I interviewing Sergey Naraz? No. Who is he? I don't know who he is. How many streams of income do I have? Multiple, and I think everyone should have multiple. That doesn't mean it has to be, say, huge amounts coming in. So I'm a firm believer in, like, you have your 9 to 5, depending on who you are. and that maybe is like 70% of your income, 9 to 5. Always figure out ways to have income on the side. That doesn't have to be necessarily passive income. Passive income is actually difficult to make, meaning it takes a lot of opportunity cost and a lot of momentum to get passive income going. So for me, I've been doing this for a long time in the online space since I was, oh God, like 8 years now. So I'm a firm believer in, like, I'll tell you how I started in affiliate marketing. If you have any internet savvy skills, I would suggest getting into affiliate marketing. It's one of the best ways to actually create passive income and, promote products that you're proud of, promote products that you love, that you want your family to use, or you use yourself. So that's a great secondary stream of income that you can use. Consulting on the side. So let's say you're working a job 9 to 5 and you're an expert at that. You can use services like clarity.fm, or create a Medium post and start doing content marketing out there to show people they can actually add value in their life and solve their problems. So there's many ways you can actually create income secondary to your primary income. I said I was interviewing Sergey, Chainlink CEO. No, I'm not interviewing Sergey. Not interviewing. I want to speak, but not doing a podcast yet. No. My guesstimate for price of Ether, I don't know, man. It's so hard. I think it has a long way to go. Let me put it that way. I still think it's undervalued at the moment, so I'll leave it at that comment. I'm not a trader. I don't do technical analysis. How hard is it to write your own white paper? It's very difficult. So yeah, there's that. How can I open up the door in the back if it doesn't have a handle? You put your finger in it. Am I investing in OMSI Go? Yes, I put a little bit of money in OMSI Go. What are my top 5 penny cryptos? I don't have any penny cryptos. And Jenny Lewis says, I'm not clairvoyant. Precisely. I'm not a psychic. I don't read the future. Is it too late to invest in Bitcoin given it's 6K, from Fred Tizano? I'm not going to give you investment advice, but let me put it this way. People are saying it's too late when it's $500. They said it was too late when it's 1,000. They said it was too late when it's 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, now 6,000. Just keep that in mind. Keeping that story in mind and knowing the past and knowing that crypto is only 0.01% penetration, not even, this is 1% of a percent penetration, globally speaking. You now answer the question, do you think 6K is too high? Current book recommendation. I'll pull it up. I'm big on Audible because I take the subway a lot. I live kind of north of my office. So for Audible, like storytelling books, I don't like factual books. Factual books I like to read, and I read a certain way. If you want to read how I read, buy a book called How to Read a Book by Mortimer Adler. I think it's one of the best books to teach people actually how to read books. There we go. This is a classic. Oh, Siddhartha. As you guys can see, I'm big on mythology and philosophy. Will China create their own coin? I think so, statistically speaking, and knowing, or I wouldn't say knowing, but talking to certain people, if I had to put my money on it, I would bet that China could be the first nation in the world that has a national crypto. So the renminbi will be cryptotized. Read that in grade school. That's awesome. How long would it take to learn Solidity for non-programmer? Long. You got to learn some basic programming first. But then again, depends how much time you spend into it. So an hour a day, 5 hours a day. I know some people that pick up JavaScript in 3 months and learn Solidity in 3 months. In 6 months, they're pretty, I'll say, fluent. Excited for DEF CON? DEF CON is looking good. Great people coming down there. It's sunny. It's Mexico. I can't really complain, can I? What happens if the world bans Bitcoin? I made a video about this. They can't really ban it. So refer to that video. Just type in, can the government ban Bitcoin? It's somewhere on my video list, so I won't get into that here, but I made a whole video about it. What do I think of Bit Petite? I'll be honest with you, I never heard of it, so I can't really comment on that. This is from Cryptonomy. I want to become a programmer. What language should I start? Learn some JavaScript, get into Solidity. If you want to do, let's say, Bitcoin, that's C++. So yeah, anywhere you start, you'll go down a rabbit hole and learn bits and pieces of everything. Somebody wants to know what to buy Monero for US. You can just Google buy Monero. There's a bunch of exchanges that have it. Who do you think Satoshi is? I really don't know. It may not be one person. It may be a group of people. Some people speculate it's Hal Finney, but rest his soul, he passed away. In 20 to 30 years, do you see one? In 20, 30 years, so that's a good question. In 20, 30 years, do you see one or a handful of numerous cryptos dominating market? Well, we can look at fiat domination right now, whether that is the euro, the British pound, let's say the US greenback. We can look up the tech space. So let's look at Tesla, let's look at Amazon, let's look at Google, let's look at Facebook. These all correspond with the Pareto's principle, Fibonacci sequence, 80-20 rule. So if I'm looking at statistics and looking at mathematics and looking at variabilities, I would say yes, in 20, 30 years, we'll probably have 4 or 5 main open source. So a big difference, not private, but open source like Bitcoin, decentralized cryptos that are used as hedges against inflation and hedges against volatility in the marketplace. And then all these other cryptos and tokens will be the 80%, which have a small minority stake and used geographically speaking, depending on the purpose of that token. I mentioned December already. It's Christmas, liquidation. People are buying stuff. So it's classical. Look last year, year before, you'll see the pattern. Anton, I don't trade. So I don't use exchange to trade. I don't have a penny online. Everything I have is kept offline. People now actually trade. All right, there you go. Taxes for crypto in Canada, it is a commodity, so you're paying capital gains tax. So for example, let's say you put in $1,000 and you make $10,000. You take 50% of that profit, which would be $5,000, and that is taxed 25%. So that means you're paying out $2,500 for that. That's if you do it ABC in Canada. The major profits are actually not done from exchanges. They're done from OTC because they don't want to move the market. So that's why you don't see, or I'll tell you some interesting stories. Some people do like arbitrage. So you have actually big whales who put up sell walls for a certain price and actually buy their own walls to manipulate the price and do arbitrage. But the majority of liquidation actually comes from OTC. What is my background? How do I get into crypto? My background is a serial entrepreneur in the online space. I've been doing business since I was 15. I got kicked out of high school, never went to high school or college. I've had many businesses, many failures, many interesting stories. I should write a book one day when I have time. I got into crypto space because Toronto's a hotspot. I knew a bunch of Bitcoin companies. I knew Vitalik's father, Dimitri. So that's how I'm connected into it. I'm not a firm believer in dodging taxes. I'm a firm believer in staying within the law and talking to your accountant and talking to your CPA and doing what's best for you. Right? Don't do anything illegal. Do everything legal. How can I make a video how Ledger works? Ledger is simple, man. Like, it's so awesome. Buy it, plug it in. They're gonna tell you make a password, and they're gonna give you a 24-word mnemonic, so seed phrase. You write down an order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 24, and that's your backup in case it gets broken and you lose it. And that's it. Like, you can set it up in 5 minutes. Like, I love these guys.
And so, yeah, we'll take those fees. GPs are made whole, then we do a catch up, right?
That's a good question from Paul. They say we're in the same point now in crypto as we were in the 1990s. If you could go back to that period of the early days of the net, what would you have done knowing what you know now? I keep on saying this. I don't invest in tech, I invest in people. So I would look at people as human beings and see what kind of traits and characteristics they have and what type of morals they have. And I always invest in humans. I don't invest in technology. Because humans can fail, or sorry, the technology can fail, but that person goes on to build another company and you get first dibs as an investor with them. So I'm a firm believer in tribes. I'm a firm believer in connecting with individuals. I'm a firm believer in purpose and in the why. Why is that human being creating that business in the first place? So if I would go back, I would just invest in better, solid human beings.
Great.
Question. I don't like or see value of usage tokens as an investor. Do you focus on tokens mostly that will act like securities at some point or give you a dividend? Good question. So I think we'll see crypto dividends and crypto equity in the future, and I'm very bullish on that. And like I said, I'm more bullish on open source decentralized cryptocurrencies. But as when it comes to tokens, yes, I would love to see legitimate crypto tokens, so for equity and dividends and voting rights as well.
It's in this document that.
Well, I'm Canadian, so I want you to speak to them. I don't expect any time frame to hold a coin. For me, it's all funny money right now. I'm investing in an experiment, and like I said, I invest what I can lose. So if I lose it, I really don't care. What is my greatest accomplishment? Meeting the love of my life. I would say that's my greatest accomplishment, my soulmate. Oh, it's 11:40. I got 5 more minutes, guys, so wrap it up.
And just one more thing, Greg. So we also
is knowing Python and JavaScript enough to write your own white paper? No, it's not. You got to know blockchain mechanisms, security models. Yeah, it's not enough. And her name is, just go to my Facebook, you'll see her name. We never hear you talk about NIA. What's your take on it? I haven't investigated them yet. I hear good things, so I can't make a judgment call on that yet. How do we get Bitcoin Cash and gold off a paper wallet? Well, are you the one that printed it? So you have the seed phrase for it. So I'm assuming if you do, you can get it.
Sure, that's fine.
All right, guys, 2 more minutes. Last final questions. What do you think about Walton? Who's Sam Walton? Oh, fuck. I think he's an amazing entrepreneur. All right, guys. I am out. Did I ever meet Russell Peters? Yes, I met him, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. He's done that square here in Toronto. Funny guy. I love comedy, by the way. Russell Peters, what's his name? Dave Chappelle. You name it. Comedy. Joe Rogan. All right, guys. I'm out. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm offline. Done. Capiche. Peace.